and find something you're passionate about besides Ziggy.
Hey. Just putting up my cards here. I was doing some readings, like recorded readings, I was in the middle of doing a reading on that like submarine situation that I had no idea about until today. And then I got a phone call and it kind of interrupted things. Hey, it is what it is. And RJ, Lady May, Stormy, Luminous, how's everybody doing? Hey, Pearl's mom. Kathy, thank you for helping try to get me in touch with Fred. So I'll get into that, what happened with the scheduled visit with Fred here in a second. I just don't want to repeat myself a million times. I know I have to repeat myself. I know I have to repeat myself. I just want to minimize the amount of times I have to do that. Hey, Rhiannon. Hey, Patricia, Tanya. Hey, Ziggy. I'm doing really good. You've been glued to the submarine all day. I know, it's like, can you imagine if they're still alive? Can you imagine being in that thing, stuck 2.5 miles down under in the sea, in a vehicle as big as a van, in the whole entire ocean, 2.5 miles down? And oh my God, can you imagine if, I actually hope that they passed like immediately. You know what I mean? That something happened and they passed immediately, because the torture of being in there for days, locked in this small vehicle type thing down 2.5 miles under the ocean in complete darkness, and the depression and knowing you're going to suffocate to death. I think the best situation with this, hold on, guys. Sorry, I had a text that I wanted to respond to. Anyways, I feel like the best situation or best outcome here for that submarine situation would be that they just, like, I don't know, exploded or something. Because I'd hate to, and I mean, yeah, it will all be worth it if they come out alive, but there's only like, yeah, what, like a few hours of oxygen left. Some workers from military, and they said if they were told if something happened, they were dead. Yeah, but how long are they going to be down there, RJ? Like, before that happens. But I wouldn't even, I would kind of even wonder if there was even any oxygen left, because if they're panicking and stuff down there, they're probably What the fuck? Sorry. My phone's kind of going off like crazy. It's not about this. I have several people texting me right now about oh man, guys, we might have a very exciting day coming up very, very soon. But I don't want to jump the what's this the saying? I don't want to prematurely speculate. Not about Fred, no. But I'm sure you'll figure it out if you know anything about the drama surrounding my situation or about me. I just can't imagine being down there 2.5 miles. You're in there with but if, like I said, if they happen to make it out of it alive, it will all be worth it, right? But can you imagine being down there however long it would take till you pass out, and knowing the fear that you would be going through? And I was watching this I've watched a few videos about it today, and I was watching, professionals in the field and stuff. One was like a clinical forensic psychologist, something like that, clinical, whatever. And he said, like, the best thing they could do is just stay calm and get to know each other. And I'm like, are you serious? Yeah. Shut up. Oh, shit. Sorry. Sorry, I was responding out loud to okay, sorry. I'm very distracted by my text, and it has nothing to do with what the topic is here. And I just don't want to get on it because it's a little bit drama, and I'm trying to stay on topic here. But no power, they will succumb to hypothermia. Oh, shit. Yeah. If with them being all the way down there, yeah, I feel like the most likely scenario is that's what happened. Is that there was, and my friend is the one that actually, which is a subscriber here, is the one that actually told me that theory, and I was like, yeah, that's probably exactly what happened. I mean, think about when you dive in water and the pressure from just going down 12 feet. If they didn't build something that goes down 2.5 miles, if they didn't build it, like, I mean, it would have to be top notch, like, years and years and years and years of research. Because I mean, that And the fact that everything lost connection all at once, like, which somebody told me that they lost like several different types of connection all at once. It sounds like an explosion or something like that, implosion, which is probably the best freaking outcome. I wouldn't want to be down there for days, and that would be torture. They said one of the sonars would have picked it up if it imploded. Oh, really? Oh, me too, Kathy. Oh, really, Lisa? The sub had a heater system and they would be sharing body heat. Do they not have any electric down there? Is that confirmed? Oh my God. Sorry, I'm getting so many funny texts. Oh geez, I wasn't expecting this. But it's great. You guys will figure it out, I'm sure. If not right now, you'll figure it out later, I promise you. So I'm not keeping secrets from you. It's just I'm trying to avoid drama. And I'm trying not to I'm trying to be humble. Hey, crazy girl oddities. Have no idea if electrical is working. Can you share with the class? It's like I said, it's about the drama stuff, and I'm just not. But no, nobody's got arrested. But anyways, so I had a scheduled video chat with Fred today at 8 p.m. Yeah, waited. I know he's horrible at technology and stuff, and he never showed up. But I did. I guess he did get my email that I emailed him through tbejail.com, and he got my phone number luckily, and he tried calling, but it said my phone doesn't accept collect calls. It let us talk for like 30 seconds or a minute, and I could not hardly understand him. It was really loud in the background. But I do know that he told me he was on suicide watch because there was an incident, I guess, that some inmates were bullying this young boy or whatever. And I guess Fred spoke up and stuck up for the boy, and somebody choked him out. And from my understanding, they tried to make play it off like Fred did it to himself or something. I don't know. I'll have to, but I was able. It cut off after 30 seconds to a minute. I don't know. It was not very long, maybe a minute, but I was able to tell him in that amount of time that I had a video chat with him scheduled at 8 p.m. and he said he had no idea. I said, just so you know, I have one tomorrow at 2:30 scheduled. So I was able to tell him that. So hopefully we will know more tomorrow. You never go down there to begin with? Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, he said that they were picking on some boy. I'm telling you, that's the type of person Fred is. But I'll know more about this story. That's what it sounded like he was saying. I do know he was on suicide watch. He said they're trying to kill me in here. That's what he said. Or they're going to end up killing me in here. Dude, can you imagine? What if something happens to Fred in there? That would be really suspicious. I can't imagine what they've been through and probably going through. I wish so bad they'd be rescued, but it's almost impossible. No, I talked to him. He's not in protective custody. He was that he for a short time he was on suicide watch. Hey, Amy. I know, but he's that type that, especially if it's a young, it just that are a little bit older, like Fred's age 45-ish, whatever. A 20-year-old coming in there or an 18-year-old is like a kid to us. Somebody coming in there maybe for their first time for some type of misdemeanor, a lot of times they're really scared, and I guess the inmates were trying to take advantage of them. And yeah. I don't think he'll have a pretty rough time. Unless he really is, well, maybe he will, because he says his thing is opiates. Because if he was just detoxing off of amphetamines, he would just sleep that. He would sleep for like days straight. But yeah, if he is, I forgot that he said he was on Suboxone, I think. And they're not going to give him that in jail. They might do something like that, Sweet D. I think the people of the community think that, Candace, because they've got the wrong idea about him because of that shooting. I think TB has to keep Fred on safe as they can. I hope so. That's why I'm saying if something happened to him, like magically happened to him in jail or prison, it would be kind of suspicious to me, especially with the theory of somebody higher up involved, like law enforcement or something. I don't know, maybe somebody trying to shut him up. Why do you think he's in the mental health unit? Come here. I don't see why he would be in the mental health unit. Unless there's something, that I don't know. They don't put you in the mental health unit just for addiction. Should be the reason some get and stay clean. Addicts or people. Yeah, I think they should too. I think it's inhumane to let people go through that without anything. We're not going to talk about his charges. I'm not dumb, peeps. He isn't even. And I think that. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that stuff. They don't really, you have to be careful what you talk about on jail calls and stuff like that, because they record them, and on visitations, because same thing. Plus, they'll drop them for just the littlest thing. Like I said, I've been dropped from a video chat with somebody before because I had a tank top on. Also, you can't talk about drugs, anything to do with sex, really, or yeah, they'll drop you in a second. There's somebody usually watching always. I know, Michelle, it is kind of it is strange. They don't have a mental health unit, just so by himself. Yeah, but I'll let you know. Well, I'm sure he'll tell me. He's pretty open about that kind of stuff. If he's in a mental health unit, he'll tell me. I'll find out tomorrow. Because I'm not good. Because I can't really ask him about his charges too much, because I don't want to incriminate him. I also don't want to get involved with all that. Like, as far as, there's nothing that I know, but I don't want to get, involved in that case and have to be questioned and stuff, really. I don't know how. From what I hear, it's confirmed now that his charges are dealing charges, not manufacturing. Yeah, someone else has, Candace. One of the tree guys that me and Kathy Gordon spoke to. There was 2 guys we spoke to, Steve Sanders and Paul Childress. Paul passed away September of last year, and I just found out a couple weeks ago or a week ago. So that's another one. I just don't understand it. And I don't know what he passed away from either. I still have no idea. They don't give them to you. They won't give you narcotics, Grammy H, even if they're doctor ordered. I promise you. They do not give you narcotics in jail. They have, and before they get, people who are even the worst of the worst as far as health issues, you have to go through seeing, and it takes forever too. They don't move fast in the jail system. They make you go through all kinds of their jail doctor to see if you really need any of this stuff. And you have to be almost dying for you to get even a Loratab or something, get a prescription of Loratab. They do not give that stuff. I feel like they should give the Suboxone in jail, but no, they don't give that shit. No, they won't give narcotics in jail. My family is LE. Yeah, they don't. But I guess it's another way to keep people, another punishment, and keep, people having to get off drugs like cold turkey. And what they should do is, I don't know if some jails will let you have it for like a few days and wean you down. I don't know about the Suboxone, but other types of medication, like if you're on heavy pain medicine for a serious illness or something like that, they will take you off like most of your medications. It's crazy. Yeah, they do that. That's true. That's one thing they do because that's one thing they do have to do is give Subutex to pregnant women, because otherwise there's a risk that the mother could lose a baby. So in that case, yeah, they do. And sometimes, like, the pregnant women have to go, instead of being dosed in jail, they have to take them in handcuffs to the freaking local clinic or whatever. Do they, Amy? That's crazy. Well, I mean, West Virginia is known to have a huge opiate epidemic, but I lived in West Virginia for 7 years, and I'm trying to think. I didn't get any trouble out there or anything, and I didn't really hang out with anybody to know how the jails were really out there. My brother said they had to take them to the clinic at 4 a.m. daily. Claremont County will give you anything but subs. I swear I was there for 30 days. Any narcs but subs. That's crazy. To start Suboxone? Yeah, but this is for people who are already on it. Like we're talking about, they don't prescribe you that stuff in jail. Oh, they wouldn't even. I remember the last time I was in jail, and it's been, oh gosh, several years ago, but they wouldn't even give me. It was, what is it? It was clonidine. No. They wouldn't give me my birth control. I remember that. They wouldn't even give me my birth control. I do remember that one. And I'm like, I have to have it. They're like, oh, you have to see the doctor first to decide if you can continue taking it, because obviously you're not going to get pregnant in here. And I'm like, that's not why I take it. I don't think so, Fresh Prince of East Tennessee, because he supposedly wore a wire on Dawn. So I think he's talked to law enforcement several times. He's told me of several occasions. Yeah, they take the pregnant women only. Where I live now, I heard on the news that they are now giving Suboxone after 48 hours in jail if you are dependent on opiates. Wow, really? Yeah, GG. It helps with withdrawal. And Suboxone it's less, it's not supposed to give you a high. Like for somebody who doesn't have any tolerance and it takes one, it will give you a little bit of a buzz, but it's not like methadone. This is meds for jail, and they gave her meds, and she was like, wow. That's what I hear, Jess. Like if you're stopped abruptly, if you can wean, they give methadone in New York. Yeah, they don't care, VTAC. They don't, a lot of jails, most jails do not give you do not give you narcotics. They figure, oh, you can't die from it. You'll just feel like you're dying. Even when it comes to like things like Xanax and stuff or alcohol withdrawal, they don't give you anything for that. They just sit there and watch you closely. And if you look like, if it looks like you're seizing real bad and about just on the verge of dying, then they'll take you to the hospital and detox you in the hospital and then bring your ass back to jail. They're not worried about making anybody comfortable in jail. And you would think like they do. I mean, they do watch people who come off benzos and alcohol way closer, but supposedly you can't. You can't die off of opiate withdrawal. It's benzo withdrawal and alcohol withdrawal you can die off of. Now, if you have some other kind of condition, like I don't know, maybe a heart condition or something, or some other serious condition, and you're withdrawing off of opiates, you're hardcore. Yeah, you could die, but you need some other type of underlying condition, because the withdrawals off of opiates, it's absolutely horrible, but benzos can kill you. Really? She unalived herself in jail? Oh yeah, for sure, Justice. But it does look like, according to some people in the comments, and I believe it. I believe it because I have heard a straggler or two, like jails that have started allowing Suboxone. So I hope, maybe here in a few years, Suboxone's becoming less and less. The stigma for Suboxone's becoming less and less. So maybe, it would help them in the jails, because I'm sure dealing with those people withdrawing is not, well, they actually don't care. They just freaking throw them in a cell and just forget about them, really. Unless they're withdrawing off alcohol or benzos, then they have some kind of protocol where they have to check on you every so often. They said that's the only medicine they wouldn't give her, Suboxone. That's crazy. That would be cool, Fresh Prince, if they could do that, but it would be cool if they could do that, clear anybody in Summer's case. But the thing is, if they clear anybody, like if they come out and clear Jay Sue, I don't even know if I would. Well, I could believe that she's not directly involved. I could, but I have a feeling she knows something about Andy and his involvement. Especially after what I heard yesterday on here, when somebody in here told me that Jody Sue and others of you confirmed had said that it was a mistake that Andy did send Candace the text saying it's done, but that it was an accident. So Jody Sue supposedly confirmed what Hunter said he saw when he was talking to Chris McDonough about Candace's drug dealer named Andy or Andrew seeing a text from saying it's done. Jody Sue confirmed it, but said, oh, it was an accident. Then Andy's seen on the end of Ben Hill Road by two people, which is Fred and his girlfriend. I think Fred's given. Who do you mean he? Fresh Prince? Do you mean Andy? Or, yeah, I think Andy is definitely very much involved, allegedly. I feel like, yes, he is number one suspect in my book, like as far beyond, even more so than the parents, I'm sure of. I am more sure of Andy than any of them. Because with the parents, I still have, go back and forth, but Andy, I never go back and forth with Andy. No, what happened? TM, Tiffany Marie? Or Tim Mullins? No, I think Fred, he's had so many meetings with law enforcement and has wore a wire on Don, and I believe him. I'll believe him until I hear differently, but from reliable source, that I don't think, unless there might be something that Fred knows that he doesn't realize that is a big, and maybe they might talk to him about something that they know and ask him if he has heard anything in the holler or, yeah. Jody Sue and Andy were fighting, fussing over the property, and a month later they moved. So why did they care if Jackie Dobbs moved there if they were moving? Makes no sense. Well, they didn't have it planned to move, I don't think. I think something about Summer's passing caused, or I'm sorry, Summer's disappearance Don't shoot me for saying that. Gosh. I mean, I can't even misspeak and correct myself right away without people being like, oh my God, you said that they died. Oh, you're so horrible. But that was an accident. Sorry. I think that something to do with Summer's disappearance caused problems in a relationship. Did Tiffany Marie and Jody Sue get into it? Or why do you think it was eye-opening? In what way? Andy got out of Dodge. Well, I didn't mean to say that. Wasn't it Jody Sue or something? Someone being in the military. Did it make you look at Jody Sue less, did it make her look less suspicious or more suspicious? Tiffany Marie needs to make up her mind about freaking Jody Sue. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, Tiffany, but come on. You can't go on and talk such strong words about somebody and then I mean, we're talking about a missing child. She's going drama. Oh God, she's really good at it. But she, I don't. She. I don't mean that in a mean way either. She's able, if she can handle it. They spoke of Fred some here and there, and Randy Crawford and Scott. Yeah, but do you think she was telling the truth? She's like such a liar. She said, what was she saying about? She said some crazy shit about me that's complete lies. She said she's been, yeah. What happened to RJ? Huh? Who did? I'm confused. Was she going to, oh, that's right. She was going, I see what you're saying. Because she was going after you. Yeah, I did talk about the update with Fred. I was able to talk to him on the phone for like 30 seconds to a minute because it said my phone doesn't collect calls, which he should have money on his books, so I don't. Anyways, he didn't know about the. When I talked to him, he didn't know about the video visitation, but I let him know that tomorrow at 2:30 I scheduled another one. So yeah, I was only able to talk to him for like a minute because they let us have one like free, whatever company it was that does their collect calls, or I don't know what, said it will give us like a minute or something free. And then it just dropped the call. Actually, it didn't even tell us how long we had. It said it was a free, they were going to give us one free call, but it hung up after 1 minute. Yeah, so tomorrow, guys, he knows about the scheduled video visit for tomorrow. So tomorrow I will have more information about. I can't really talk. He might say a few things. I'm not going to really talk about his charges too much because I don't want to incriminate him. And he's kind of, you see how much he talks. Like, he's very free with what he says. So if I ask him questions, he's probably going to answer it. And I don't want to put him in I would hate if I like did something that was used in court to get him in trouble or something. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know tomorrow evening. I think people are comfortable, like even people of all walks of life are comfortable talking with me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just feel like they are because I'm humble. I've been there. I've been in many of these people's situations. I've been the lowest low, and I can relate in certain ways. I just try to relate with people, and that kind of opens the doorway a little bit. You get to know something you have in common, and then you use that as a get your foot in the door. Also, once they know that you're not going to judge them for using drugs or whatever because you want people to be honest too, and people aren't going to be honest if they feel like you're judging them. Yeah, so it sounds like he's having a little bit of a rough time in there. Jinx. Oh gosh, I'm probably not gonna be on long, but I'm trying to at least stay on an hour, and it's like, so you've got me for 10 more minutes at least, unless something crazy happens within the next 10 minutes. Oh, well, thank you, One Love. And Judge Laura, aw. See, that's the problem, Lisa, with her, is that she watches that shit and sees who if you're in there and you're not talking shit about her, then I don't think it should be any problem. Like, that's ridiculous to try to control. She did the same thing when she was against me. She would block people who were in my chat. And then people, would be afraid to type because they wanted to be able to, they didn't want to upset Queen Tiffany. Has Benny Keys been live since a couple nights ago? Hey, Mama T. I know, Jess. It's crazy. I only get upset if it's they're saying something like horrible about me. I don't care if you get, I mean horrible. You have to be like, don't be fake is what if you're going to go over to other chats and talk shit about me, like, at least let it known over here too what you think. Don't blow smoke up my ass and then go over there, you know what I mean? But besides that, I think it's ridiculous that people say anything about whose chat people are in. That's really ridiculous, actually. She's trying to regain her throne. I know. I put you guys in bad situations and positions, and that's what I hate. Is because I know that there's a lot of people on here. I mean, I have more supporters than I do like people that don't like me. I can keep it in I can keep it in perspective pretty well and keep a good mindset about it. But I'm not gonna get mad at people because they're in somebody else's chat that it's crazy. And I feel like, I'm sorry, but I feel like if you're one of those that are blocking people because they're in somebody's chat that you don't like, then you're not really here for the right reasons. You're not here for Summer. You're here for the drama. Because how are you guys supposed to get all the information? Because there's different channels that show different types of information, talk to different types of people. And if you can't be in somebody's live who is talking to, I don't know, Don or Candace or somebody else related to the case, or interviewing them stuff, because you can't be in the chat because one of your other favorite creators will block you and be mad at you. It happens all the time, and it's ridiculous. What's the best way to clear up huge confusion with a creator? Email them, comment on the video, or make my own video explain. I would email them. You hear the cards? That's funny. Yeah, I am shuffling them. Oh, were they really? When was this, Lisa? I don't feel like I do it, Rhiannon. I really try not. I don't feel like I do. Only if. That's good, Patricia. But there's a lot of people, they just don't want conflict. And it's not that they're trying, that they so much are like kissing the creator's ass. I think it's a lot of times it's just that they don't want the stress and the conflict. They don't want to be singled out and talked about. because Tiffany calls them out in a heartbeat. I'm surprised she hasn't showed up in here yet. I'm not talking shit about her though. I'm really not, but she takes it as I am. Oh, I thought you were saying they all do, as far as like all the creators. There is a lot of creators that do, but no, there's a lot of creators who don't single people out like that. Now, I did call out somebody earlier today when I saw him in my chat. Was it today or last night? Whatever. The days kind of run together, but I called him out because I saw him. They were trying to, act friendly in my chat, and then I saw like somebody sent me a screenshot like a few days ago, and I was just waiting for him to come in my chat so I could do that because I was like, "You freaking hypocrite, or not hypocrite? You freaking two-faced Thea! You did it again to me." Because this is somebody I have had it as a mod before. I did the same things, talked some kind of shit to fit in with some internet YouTube click like that. I mean, it's pathetic, really, guys. Sorry, but it is. It's pathetic to try to. This is not high school. But anyways, you need to have a backbone and stand up for what's right. Not trying to. It's. Anyways, this particular one didn't have a backbone, and she's over there going along with what they're saying about me, but in participating, saying untrue stuff about me. I was like, oh my God. So I called her out like this morning or it was Samantha. Just Samantha. It's like the freaking 45th time she's done that shit to me. Just like I used to give, because there's certain ones that I just know their personalities and I know they're outspoken and stuff, and I know they are just, so that's just how they are. So when they say things or I see things, I'm like, oh, that's just them. Usually, but some of them, sometimes they take it too far. Like, what's the one? Who's the one that, there's a few of them that I kept letting come back in here that would always try to, that I wasn't sure if they were just being their self or if they were, sometimes they would say things as like, okay, I kind of feel like you're trolling me a little bit or trying to be an asshole, and then I would let it slide. Rennie is one of them. Rennie was the No, I don't have a PO box anymore. I need to make sure that that's off the I will get one again when I can afford it, but yeah, a few people did, Sheba. They're like, I got rid of the PO box because when I first got it, people people, I got, people send stuff all the time, like little cards, or not all the time, but I get stuff a couple times a week or something. But then eventually nobody, it kind of died off and nobody used it. So yeah, most of them were my mods, Rhiannon. It was really sad. But you know what? I didn't have, like I said, I feel like a broken record, but I had other things going on in my life that was way more hurtful. So it didn't. I couldn't really deal with the stuff on here. It was very hard when it got to them contacting, Jim's sisters, who I've only seen a couple times in my life. I mean, they weren't part of her. That was crazy. That was like, wow, because they got them all riled up, making them think I was talking bad about Jim after he passed. That's why that all happened. And they're not in the most stable places in their life, and plus they lost their brother, and so yeah, they were very vulnerable, and they took advantage of his sisters and used that opportunity to try to make me look bad. But it is what it is. Hey, miss you. But I don't want to get too much on all that, because I really am trying to just ignore that. If I and hope that maybe if I just ignore it, then maybe they'll realize like they're being ridiculous and eventually stop. But every time I talk like this, it just makes it worse. So I definitely forgive if I will forgive, as long as there's a way, though, you go about it. And I shouldn't have to tell people how to, but I think that they should personally probably contact me first. Well, which also sometimes, or when they come in the chat and they apologize in front of everybody, I appreciate that too, because that takes a lot to do, especially when they know that they're going to get shit for being in my chat and apologizing to me, and so I can respect that too. But there is a few that I don't know how I would ever forgive, but I mean, I would just have to see. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that, Still in Leather. It's okay, Marlene. It's played out. Hey, Renegade, it's been really good. Yeah, I mean, we all are human. We all, like, do stupid shit and have to apologize. It doesn't mean you're any less than, or but it really, I know I sound like silly, but it really does take a strong person to admit when they're wrong. Especially in a group setting like this, where they have to do it in front of hundreds or thousands. But you know what? It shows your character and your integrity. And it shows that the type of person you are when you can realize you fucked up and admit it in front of everybody. And you shouldn't feel any shame about it at all. You shouldn't feel any shame for apologizing or admitting you were wrong, because we're all wrong all the time. All of us. None of us are exempt. So I can't judge somebody for apologizing, being like, because I have to apologize sometimes for shit I do. So if I can't give other people leeway, then how do I expect the same grace from others? Yeah, Connie, that's what I'm getting texts about. Yeah, when love, what I feel like I'm not gonna admit and apologize though for things I didn't do, and neither should any of you guys. Stand your ground. If you know you're speaking the truth, if you know you're following the truth, if you know what you're standing for is right, stick with it, even if you stand alone. And then eventually, it could be though years that you stand alone. You could go through a whole bunch of bullshit before the truth, gets revealed, but don't be like Benny Keys and try to force karma and do stupid shit, and because that's just going to hurt him. That's just going to hurt you. He probably does miss you, yes. I'm waiting my visit with him has changed till tomorrow. Yeah, I think that he does have that failure to appear in Sullivan County. His bond is $5,000, $5,000 cash. So once he's bonded out there, there still will be a hold for him until Sullivan County comes and gets him, which is just the next county over. So probably a couple days after he's bonded out for the dealing charges, he would be out. He wouldn't be out right after bond though, because he'd have to wait for Sullivan, and usually they give him like 72 hours, I think, to come get him. It's either 72 hours or 70. It's 72 hours, I believe, that a county has to come get you. And then if they don't come and get him, if Sullivan never shows up to get him, then Hawkins has to release him. But he still would have to face a charge. That doesn't mean the Sullivan charges are dropped. He'd still have that warrant. It's just that whenever he would get pulled over in Sullivan or something like that, he'd have to deal with it. Because sometimes with charges like that like a petty theft that's a misdemeanor or something, sometimes they don't go out of their way to get the person. But sometimes it's only they'll go get them if they're in county or they're in the next county over. It just depends what the charge is. Yeah, I checked for Dudley to see if I can look again. Let me see if anything comes up for him. But you have to check Sullivan County if you know. Well, because the county he's in trouble on the run and is Sullivan, but he should come up in Vinelink too. You guys, I should tell you about this. Like, I know, nope, it doesn't look like he's been arrested. Unless he's been arrested and released. I miss talking to you guys about things going on in my life. Does he get paid daily in jail towards fines? Paid? Paid for what, D? You know what would be a strange coincidence, Miss You, is if Fred Hill just randomly ends up dead in jail. That's what I'm worried about. Hey, Betty Smith. Sorry about that. I guess a lot of people are having that. Maybe some people might have to subscribe and then resubscribe and then hit the bell thing. He does. I mean, I understand he means well, One Love. I do, but he's having a mental breakdown, and people shouldn't encourage him to do stupid shit, just for their own entertainment. It's his life, it's his real life, and he has to deal with the consequences. And people behind their keyboard thinking it's funny or egging him on or encouraging him that's not a friend. They're gonna get, and he's gonna end up getting another stalking charge, another charge, or something stupid because people giving him wrong advice. Take money off of fines? I hope he's okay too. That's why I was wondering if anybody's seen him around. Oh, really? So they take it off your fines? Well, which is it? Because if Don says that you have to pay to be in jail, then I think I have heard that they do give you a little. I thought that was in prison. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been in jail for like a long, long time, so I never got money for being in jail. Maybe they did take it off my fines. I have no idea. You know what? I really respect Benny, because what he did when I lost Jim. When I first lost Jim, I was having some kind of breakdown live on YouTube, making a fool of myself, which I didn't care. Good thing I don't get embarrassed very easily. But anyways, he tried calling me and getting me to calm down and get off live, so I appreciated it. I thought that was really nice. Because usually he would use an opportunity like that to, make fun of me. But I think he realized it was a serious situation and I was having some kind of breakdown, and I really appreciated that. What is... Hey, Sassafras. Yeah, I'm not talking about Benny. He might take it like that, but I'm not. He'll take it like that because people like that will... And I like crimes have consequences, okay? I have no problem with crimes oops. She's fine, but see, people take things wrong and then they go tell the creator that I was talking shit, and that's how things like that get spread, because they don't listen to what I'm saying and the words I'm using, which is actually out of love, and is actually in hopes that people don't encourage that behavior, because it's for his own good. It's for his it's for his own good. I'm encouraging things that are good for him, not bad. And if you're encouraging him to do that stuff, you're encouraging he's having a mental breakdown. I mean, I understand if he's, you know, not able to see his son and stuff, and then there's some other guy involved in the son's life, yeah, I'm sure it's driving him nuts. I know, really. I wish that was that easy, country girl. I wish people could just go into a chat and be like, please don't talk about Ziggy. Don't speak on Ziggy. Don't come in my chat and tell me not to speak on somebody. That's so rude. Especially when I'm speaking, trying to speak positive things and not... I'm seriously trying to think what I said that was bad about him. And I can't think of anything. Did I say something bad or something? I mean, I could see how somebody might say I was saying something bad about Tiffany, but I didn't feel like I was really either. I feel like we all give each other a little shit in this community. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. AB talks about me all the time, and it doesn't bug me. Why? Because he doesn't go real life, and he doesn't take things too far. There's plenty of people that talk about me all the time. Like, as long as it's in, you know, not spreading misinformation. Yeah, I've got mad at AB before when he said things that aren't true. But talking about me or making fun of me, it doesn't bother me. He cut his leg with a grinder? Who did that, sweetie? Wow, yeah. I even asked people for compassion when Jim passed. Nobody gave it. Well, that's not true. That's not true. It felt like nobody did because it seemed so overwhelming, but that's not true that nobody did at all, because there was many of you guys, like, including Country Girl, who's like still stuck by me. And there's many of you guys who text me and let me know when you think I did something wrong or said something I shouldn't have or did something all the time. So for all the people who think I have like kiss ass people as mods, no, I don't. I have strong women as mods and men with their own opinions. I've purposely done it like that. We've had over time, we're weeding out the ones that are snowflakes. I think we got a pretty good set of mods here now. Thank you, Elena. I believe so too. I don't care if people like make comments about my, if there's a way to say something. I don't get mad at constructive criticism. And if I do, I usually think about it and then realize, okay, they're right, And then I apologize because I'll feel bad. Oh, thank you, Valerie. That's so sweet. Some people try telling you what a different creator did and it has nothing. If you're a mod and unmodded now, like I unmodded everybody, Rihanna, and it was nothing personal. And see, that's what happened too, is some people were unmodded and they were like, what the fuck, and that's all it took. And they turned on me and it was like, that's all it took. But I had said many times over and over, please, if you want to still be a mod for this channel, to email me, because I didn't know who still was with me, because I had, so many of my mods secretly, plan something behind my back and turn on me. So I didn't know who was with me and who was against me. And I wasn't going to message everybody individually. I figured, with what I was going through, that if they could message me. And I kept saying, like, if, I unmodded everybody just because I had mods that were like deleting all my people and I couldn't figure out who was doing it. So I unmodded everybody and then I slowly built up again. It wasn't anything. I wasn't. Well, thank you, Valerie. Well, you don't stick out to me as somebody who's been like, usually the real bad ones, I know I'll remember things, but hey, Sugar Moon. So Rihanna, if you're, you can email me if you're one. I just don't know who, and some people don't want to be a mod too. That's the thing, because now I'm in this predicament, where people are almost embarrassed to mod for me because of all the hate, because they are, some embarrassed, some don't want to be singled out and talked about. They do that shit on purpose, and it's so wrong. They do that so people are not comfortable typing in my chat. or super chatting me, or supporting me in any way. Nobody, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this all unfolds to see if I owe Jody Sue an apology. I think she's still very suspect. I think she does it to herself. Yeah, then Rihanna, they were changing their names so that I couldn't figure out who they were. And I was like, so I started just deleting, I just deleted all my mods. I was like, there, we'll just start over. And I knew that people would get upset because I, hold on. And wait, who lost? I just got a text that somebody in the chat lost a friend. Was it you, Sweet D? Oh, still in. Yeah. Yeah, I saw her earlier. Okay. Sorry, I was getting text. Yes, I mentioned still in leather earlier. That's horrible. Sorry, I talked to you guys and I'm getting texts at the same time. Somebody was letting me know that there was somebody that lost somebody in the chat. And so I was just, yeah, sorry to hear about you losing your friend. That was my cut. Wow, to overdose. I don't really believe in them, but they're a good reference. Yeah, it's fun. I did let's see. I did a reading. Who was it? On the Dre situation. Did one on Harmony Montgomery recently. It's on the Dre video. I didn't know I was going to do one. It's on my backup channel. But in that Harmony Montgomery situation, I strongly get that his girlfriend or new wife is very much involved. I don't understand how she's getting away with as little as she's only having to do a year and a half in prison. It's absolutely ridiculous. She walked around with that Harmony Montgomery's body and would put the bag in between her two babies, strolling around in a stroller with, I didn't know all this until after I did my reading, because I read somebody suggested I do that Harmony Montgomery reading, and I was like, okay, I don't know much about the case, but we'll see. And then from what I could tell, it was obvious that it was more than one involved, possibly three in Harmony's demise, but definitely two, definitely a couple. And you guys can pretty much use process of elimination to figure out who the couple is. Yeah, she should be in there for life. I can't believe. I know. Like, what? Oh, no. Wanted to listen to you about what, RJ? Absolutely freaking ridiculous. Absolutely disgusting. Yep. Yep. There was a family that would have loved to have her. She gave him up and made a deal. She sat there and watched that stuff. The wife, I think it was the wife who really, from my reading it, it was like she did not want Harmony really, because it was like she wanted her own little family with her kids and her husband. She didn't want another woman's child. That's how I feel. I don't think she was good to Harmony at all. The first channel I was on that does. You mean the stepmom? They ate Thanksgiving dinner when they had freaking Harmony Montgomery. When they had their daughter and stepdaughter in a freaking duffel bag in the trunk. Yeah, she was getting the Adam and Kayla and the kids were staying in a car in the parking lot of a friend around Thanksgiving, and they were homeless and have food, and a friend brought out leftover Thanksgiving dinner, and they sat there and ate it with Harmony in the trunk. Well, part of the time she was in the trunk, the other part of the time they put the duffel bag on the snow so she wouldn't decompose. And here is a woman, a mother, Kayla, like knows this, and she goes along with this for months. How the hell is she gonna? It really is maddening to me. Yeah, and then she had she would put that bag in between her kids. Like, what? How could she? What is she trying to say? She was terrified of him or something? It doesn't really seem like it. If she was terrified, she would have spoke up before. She's been a when did they? When was it exact? She didn't speak up till she was arrested, right? Yeah, gross. Like, can you imagine coming across that bag and like opening it up? What about the part where she says, where he takes her, she had been in this bag, duffel bag for I don't know how long, weeks, and he moved her into a different bag that was much smaller, plopped her out in the bathtub after she's been decomposing for weeks. The wife was in there with him when he was at first when he was doing it. And he was, well, no, the whole time she saw him, according to her, in her own words, squish. He couldn't get Harmony in the bag and forcing her into the bag after she's been dead for weeks. Oh my God, dude. So disgusting. Yeah, they had a defroster. That's why they probably had the shower on. Sick. How sick of a person do you have to be able to actually witness something like that? And then, or I mean, even worse, be the one actually doing that to your own daughter. And ew, too. I mean, like, gross and just inhumane and just, oh my God, like the most evil person ever. Oh yeah, there you go. There's another part. She admitted, to get her to fit in the bag, she admitted clipping off Harmony's clothes, helping cut her clothes off so it would be easier to fit her in the bag. No. They kept the body around. It was like the beginning of December of 2021 to the beginning of March of 2022. So December, January, February, 3 months. They were and he transferred her into a different bag 2 different times during that period. Oh my God. No, and drugs don't make you that like that. You know, and if they were like spun out of their mind, what are they spun out of their mind for 3 months straight? They weren't even on meth or a drug like that would make them like crazy. They were on opiates. Opiates don't make you freaking. I mean, now they do. The withdrawal's so bad that people do stupid stuff for money. They might rob a store or pharmacy or something. And they do make you, I have seen people on opiates, like, I saw one girl, man, I didn't understand why it was her drug of choice, because every single time that she freaking did her drug of choice, which was opiates, she would turn into the most miserable, raging bitch I've ever seen in my life. Like, just seemed so miserable. Like, why are you instantly? She would go from a decent person to just miserable, and it seemed like she would get so irritated so easily. Opiates can do that, make you irritable, but like, they're not gonna, maybe it could put you over the edge to do something in this heat of the moment, but or contribute to it, but not for 3 months straight. What kind? They were on crack and cocaine too, were they? Well, maybe they. I thought they were on like fentanyl and heroin. She was pregnant with her third child. Did she have the baby? I hope so too. I agree, Special K. I think that I'd prefer that they get life in prison over death penalty, because I think he needs to sober up. They both need to sober up and deal with, live through it, and live through also people like beating their ass because of what they did to a child. Because those prisoners, especially, those women are not going to like her in prison. Unless they put her with other baby killers, which I doubt it, because she's only got 1.5 years in prison. It's pathetic. I know, it's just gross. Telltale Heart would come to fruition. Yeah. Haven't seen that forever. You hear about drug addicts like doing like spun on meth or on crocodilla or whatever that stuff is. Or maybe tripping on some kind of, I don't know. I won't even say acid. People have done things on acid that are crazy, because like, but that's usually to themselves, like jumping off a building or, unaliving themselves because it feels like you're going insane. But people who don't have a strong mindset, it could totally make you do something really stupid. But not usually to somebody else. But you hear about people on that, on meth, like, I don't know, chewing somebody's arm or eating somebody's face or weird shit like that. But it's not usually something that's going on for months and months. It's like one psychotic episode. So he's just a messed up person and unable to be rehabilitated, same as her. And how the hell were they able to find each other? That just shows you how many screwed up people are in this world. There's 2 of them. There was 2 of them that went along with it, at least. And possibly a third, the one that helped with the U-Haul while he, and I think drove. Well, yeah, he admitted driving because he saw him throwing out stuff that looked like plastic bags. And who knows what he did to her body if he was dumping her all over town, which it sounds like he was. What happened is like when they were in the U-Haul, his friend was driving it and he was just throwing it out wherever. It sounded like she was wrapped in, like he had dismembered her body or something. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what it sounded like. She probably, yeah, so she'll probably get back on drugs. Kayla will, and she'll probably OD or something because she's not going to be able to live with herself unless she's as evil and horrible as a person as I think she is, and maybe she can live with herself. Well, guys, my phone is blowing up. We might have something fun to talk about tomorrow. We'll see. But I am going to get off here. I know most of her time's already been served. Is freaking crazy. Yeah, and then that's true. They feed off each other. It's kind of like we see it in a much smaller scale here on YouTube when people when there's a group of people doing something that most people would say was wrong and not right. But if there's a group of people going along with it, the bad behavior rubs off on the others and it makes them feel like what they're doing is okay. Because if they can get and then like in this instance, if, in a relationship, if the person they're with is doing, like together, sometimes people can be more evil together than apart, depending. Thank you, One Love. They watch you like crazy, Betty Smith. They're supposed to watch you. Then if you start seizing or something, they'll take you to the hospital and have you medically detoxed, and then they bring you back to jail. But you have to be dying, almost dead, because they don't want, they don't want inmates dying because it makes the jail look bad. So, but they'll let you go until you're very close. Many times they don't get them to the hospital in time. 5 hours of oxygen left. That's sad. All right, guys. Good night. We'll talk tomorrow. Everybody have a great night's sleep and see you soon. Ta-ta.